Sunday. Ashley from Level Up Trading. I want to give you my 7 top setups that I am looking at for this week. Hope you guys have had a great weekend, but it's time to get right back to business. So first, I want to ask you to consider joining the Discord, $50 a month. Teach you how to trade with me on Sunday class. We also do Monday through Friday live trading. And, I try to get in and out of the trade within an hour, hour and a half. We do swing trading, lead trading, we do day trading, we do long-term and short-term trading. So consider, and those are options as well. So consider joining the Discord at your own leisure, but consider joining the Discord. I think you'll really, really enjoy what we do. Anyway, I want to get right into it. I want to go right to the economic calendar this week. Monday, we're looking at the manufacturing PMI on Monday. At 10 a.m., we're looking at the ISM report on Monday at 10 a.m. We look at construction spending at 10 a.m. So we have some news, some reports on Monday. So look out for that between 9:45 and 10 a.m. Tuesday, not really nothing big. I would say Wednesday, we have the employment report, the U.S. Service PMI, the ISM report on business services, and the Federal Reserve Lisa Cook speaks. So Wednesday might be some movement in the market. Thursday we have weekly job claims, monthly wholesale trades. Friday we have employment report, unemployment rating, average hour earnings, and consumer credit. So I say Monday, Wednesday, Thursday a little bit, and Friday we're going to have some motion in the market when it comes to reports. So be aware of that. Anything else that might come up in the news with Twitter, reports with Trump and anything like that, so be aware of that as well. We are in a time where news is, kind of making the market trend. So we got to pay attention to that. But then these pullbacks are important. Last week, chips was down like crazy. I think the week before that, towards the end of the week, it was crazy on chips. So we had a nice pullback. I think we could pull back a little bit more on some of the chips, but we'll go over that in this video right here as well. So I'm going to go right to the Discord and bring up the earnings release next week, or this week, sorry. We have, that I'm looking at, we have Palantir after hours tomorrow on Monday. We have McDonald's Tuesday morning, Caterpillar, we have Visor as well. We have MRK as well before market on Tuesday. After hours, we have AMD, which is a big one that needs to be looked at as well. We have Wednesday, Uber. We have Disney. We have Circle. What else? We have we have Lilly. So, and Shopify as well. So, definitely Wednesday could be a little motion in the market for sure. After market, definitely we have Sanders, which is definitely going to cause some motion in the market. What else we have that I'm looking at? Beyond Meat as well. That might cause a little motion, but I know Sanders definitely going to take top rate on that. Oh, WDC. That's been a mover as well. So that might be, that has to do with tech. So that might, cause a little motion as well. But I know Sanders definitely will cause the biggest motion after hours on Wednesday. What else we have? We have now, after hours, what is that? We have Airbnb. Really not been DraftKings, AAOI. We have FISV. That's been a watch in the market as well. Dealing with tech chips. So that one might have a little motion on Thursday morning. Now might have a little motion. What else I see? Nothing else really that I see that I was Oklo on Friday before market. So that might have some motion waking up Friday morning. Oklo's been a talk for the last few months, so that one might have some motion Friday. So we got some motion this week on a lot of these trades. It looks like it's more of like food chains, maybe some cars, some digital. I see the biggest one being is AMD, Lilly, Sanders. Those ones I see being the biggest one. Maybe like Now, Oklo. What else might follow behind that? WDC might follow behind that as well. So, but I know the biggest one, and Palantir is definitely one of the top. So we're looking at maybe about 5 or 6 top, and then following behind that would be the other one. McDonald's could have some motion as well. But I definitely see Sanders, Lilly, AMD, Palantir having some motion more than probably any of these other ones this week. But, you know, you trade at your own leisure, but always be careful when you trade in earnings, you know what I'm saying? So let's get right into my trades. My first one, you always gotta start with the top one. We're gonna start with SPY. Now ES is definitely having some motion this morning. We definitely moving up, you know what I'm saying? So we definitely can look at SPY and see what that's doing as well. So the overnight hours after 6 o'clock, you usually see the market on Sundays. After 6 o'clock, that's when the market starts to show you, you know, where the market could be going. But it's not, you know, anything can happen by Monday morning. So we always can't 100% rely on that at all. So I see SPY. SPY gapped up over 749. We closed at 747 on Friday, but after hours we gapped up over 749.05, which is where I had my line marked for SPY. You know, so going and looking at that, we definitely could see 755. But since we held under 749, I'm honestly expecting a pullback. And I'm looking at it from the daily perspective. We could possibly have a pullback to 742 or to 740. Even if we gap up in the morning, this is probably a good area for a small pullback, maybe to 742 in the morning. So I will be expecting that, especially with us having a report in the morning as well, or around, like, I think it's let me go back to it. I think it's at 9:45, the PMI manufacturer. So I will be trading a little light when it comes to that. So definitely be looking for a pullback, possibly to 742. Even though we're gapping up overnight, it is Sunday, so we got to pay attention to that. But if we do not gap over by the morning, I'm looking for a pullback to 742 on that one. But if we end up holding, and if we bounce at if we bounce at 742, right, and we continue to go up, we bounce down here, we do something like this, we pull back in the morning and go up, or if we pull back from here, pull back and go up, I'm cool with that too. Or if we seem to hold over this level right here, I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with us breaking over here, 749, and then continuation up to 755. I'm cool with that too. Either way, I'm cool with either way. The end result is to see us get to 755 to try to return to all-time highs. But if that does not hold, then we can continue back down under 740 and then test 753. So those are my scenarios, my two scenarios for on our way to the top and on our way to the bottom under 742. I definitely can see 735, and then under that, you know, we're going down. So the next level under that will be like 729, 721. But we'll see what SPY does in the morning. Looking at it from a daily perspective, I do see a possible pullback to 742 right here, just to retest this area because we held under 749. I'm definitely looking for a possible pullback in the morning. Even if we have a slight gap up to 750, 752, something like that, I'm looking for a possible pullback to 742 and then a bounce, or 740 and then bounce. Okay, QQQ, let's get on. I don't want to waste nobody's time around here. So I'm going to get rid of all these lines right here and see what QQQ is giving. So we're going to look at it naked and go from there. Because, you know, I draw a lot of lines. A lot of stuff from last week. A lot of these levels are always retested, of course. So if I remove everything, with QQQ, it definitely did us right last week. I put it like that. So QQQ has been slightly moving different from SPY last week a little bit. They haven't been on the same page fully. So if QQQ breaks above 695.49, then we could possibly fill this gap up to 705. Basically breaking back over 700. But if we do not break back over 700, or if we go to the 705 area or 711 area, I see gaps to the 705, 706 area. If we reject right there, then we possibly could see 695, 693, and then reject back down. This is my third scenario with it. And I got to get more than one scenario because QQQ kind of been doing its own thing. So even though I do see SPY possibly returning to all-time highs because it held the level, but it keeps retesting the 740 area as well. Even though you see the gap up, it keeps retesting 740. So I pay attention to that. So with QQQ, if we hold under 700, regardless if we gap up to test it, or 705, I put 705, and we reject back down, we're definitely going to see back down under 682. See under that, we're going to see 661. I say 670 to be safe, but we definitely could see under 682, and I see 670 as the next level for me. And that's where I would either expect a possible bounce and call retest, or rejection down to 661. And then under there, let's just say we do have some gaps down under here under 651. We got down under 600. You might not get that low right now, but I definitely see we could possibly though, because that is a major support area. So we could, but I'm definitely watching for us to hold this 9 EMA area. So we'll have to see what happens with QQQ. I would like to see it fill this gap up about 705, to be honest. If it does that, then we can reject back down, possibly. We could see this gap fill in the morning and then reject. So I will be expecting either rejects around this area of 682, or I will see a gap up to 705, reject back down somewhere in that area, and then I will play puts, to be honest with you. I will be watching for QQQ for the rejection. What's another one I'm watching? You have to write them down because I like so many of them, but I'm not gonna hold you guys long. NVIDIA. Now I didn't play NVIDIA last week at all, but I do like it. NVIDIA. I wanted to see NVIDIA get back over 200. That's why I never played it. I like NVIDIA over 200, 100%. So if NVIDIA holds 204, I would like to see 211. It holds this 204.61 area, which is why I keep leaving it at. And this level never has failed me. I promise you, like it gets there. And I'm very careful there, and either it pops over or it rejects and gives me confirmation. I like that NVIDIA is trying to hold 190, but let's see what happens. So NVIDIA, if it breaks over 204, I would like to see 211, and then that will be my area of possibility seeing 214, but I will trim around 211. That's just me. If we break below 196, though, if we break below that, then I possibly could see us back into 190. Retesting that area, and then that's why I will possibly be careful, because we keep retesting that area as well. And if we retest the area again, then we could possibly break under to see maybe 180 area real. We could possibly see the 180 area for sure. My next one would be AMD. Now I rolled AMD a lot last week. I made decent money on AMD. A lot of my team did. A lot of the students did as well. So people in the chat did as well. So AMD definitely did its thing last week. I still, honestly, even though AMD is recovering, I still like the puts. But if we don't get the puts, that's cool with me too. If we get the calls, then that's fine. So my levels for AMD is under 475. I would like to see us go to 460. I would like to see 460 on this trade. You know, I wrote it down to 423, and it actually did pretty good. So that's what I see. If I took it to the 5 minute, there's a nice gap right here under 458. So, and I know usually most people don't play, you know, these type of trades like this, but every now and then I go in closer, because a lot of times if you see it on the daily, it's not there. So if you pay attention from far out, you don't see that gap like that. But then you do see this gap, but you don't see the one here. And this might be the one. You see it on the hourly, you see it on the 4 hour. But to me, if I look at it from the 15 of the hourly, I see it a lot better up in this perspective. Not all the time. Let me make that clear. AMD's been a mover. Calls and puts last week. I wrote it down, took the puts, and then when it bounced, I took the calls. So it did pretty good for me last week, and it did pretty good for a lot of other people. So to me, I see AMD could possibly go down. Now, what got me, like, what has me a little trapped is that you see it has some type of resistance right here, or support here, because it's up here. So it has support right here at 476. That's my only concern with us possibly forming some type of pattern to where we can continue to go up and break back over 500. But if not, then we could possibly break under. So I'm looking to break back under 476, and I won't take it till I see that. If we break back under 476, then I will possibly see us go down to 458. And then I will be careful under that, because if we do not break under that, then we may not see the gap fill again. AMD's been moving. It moved, I think, $30 one day on the puts and went up and moved another 30 on the calls in one day. So you got to be careful with this particular trade, but I've learned how to trade it to where I can pay attention to where it's going, and they'll give me my setup the best way. So, like I said, if we break, I won't touch it until we break under 476. That's where I'll take it at, and then I'll take it to, give or take, just to be fair, 465. And then under 465, 458, that's where I would watch for some type of support. And if we break under 458, then apparently we're going to be looking at the possibility of filling the gap down to 435. I can say that AMD likes to fill gaps, so that's the good part about AMD. My next trade I will be looking at is IWM. I like IWM a lot. I like IWM a whole lot. And when I saw this trade, I usually do not trade IWM. Let me make that very clear. I rarely trade it, but I like it. See that bull flag on IWM? That's a beautiful bull flag on a daily. So if we hold either 289, or we hold, or we pull back to 289 or 286, I'll be looking for calls on this particular trade, to be honest with you. We could pull back to 286, like comfortably, and then bounce. I will be looking at bounce around 289 to 286, and then I will be looking at a call and probably a swing or a hold to at least 298. That will be where I will be looking at, to hold to. I like it there. 298. I like IWM a lot. And again, I never trade it. So to me, it must be a gold mine. Where we have to hold 289 to 286. We have to hold those two areas to see calls. Under that, I don't want it. Because then we can, no telling, we can go down to 270. And that might be a good put for somebody else, but I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it till it breaks under 270. Because then I'll be looking for the puts all down here at 255, So I definitely would like to see where this trade can go, to be honest with you, But right now, I like calls, and that's what I'm sticking to. I'm being biased on IWM because I like to set up for the bulls. What's my next trade? I got one more for you, and then we are out. I think that's 7. Intel. I like Intel. Believe it or not, even though I like this beautiful bull flag on Intel, believe it or not, I like puts on Intel. I like Intel puts. I like Intel puts a lot, but I will be expecting a reject on Intel around 106. Just to be fair, let me take that back down. Sorry. Either 98 or 106 is my reject for Intel. I like it puts. I'm biased on Intel. I like the puts on Intel a lot. I believe we could go all the way down to 69. Under that, we're going to see probably 40, maybe 50 to $40. But I like Intel definitely more for puts. That candle right there gives a rejection candle for me. But we got to break over 98. But if we retest 98 and reject again, I definitely will be looking for puts on Intel. I had puts last week, and I made some money on it, but it reversed because the market turned bullish. So, chips kind of, even though chips was still weak, it reclaimed a little bit, because SPY reclaimed. So, and QQQ follows suit with SPY. But I really like this gap fill right here with Intel. And they have no problem with filling gaps as well. But we do have a gap up here as well. So I got to be aware of where I'm going. So I feel like this. If we hold under 98, 91, I definitely would be looking for puts down to 82. And then under 82, we can see 69 for Intel. If we break back above 100 on Intel, I'll be possibly looking for calls up to 106 to 108. Break above that, then we could possibly see this 120 area for gap fill on Intel. Besides that, those are, I think that's 7. My 7 trades, and I'm going to give one more bonus that I really like. NBIS. I saw this lurking on the side. Like I said, I really don't trade this type of trades, but I like this trade a lot. I like MBS above 207. Point blank period. I like the fact it's holding the EMAs. So if this trade holds 207, I will possibly take calls, swing calls to 235, 220, 235, whichever one comes first. But I definitely like this 220 for sure. And then I might trim, but I definitely like the more than 235. So if I do swing this, I will be, my mission is to get it to 235, period. But I do like this trade, and I like this gap fill all the way up here at 270. And I'm looking for a swing trade on this more, and then possibly a lead down the line if it breaks above 235. But you all have a great Sunday. I hope this information definitely has helped you out a lot. You guys have a great Sunday, and we'll be back soon.